Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a video on the question of how we can communicate better with people that I refer to as the conscious unconscious. People who think of, the average educated liberal Democrat who they're intelligent, they're educated, but they're still not fully conscious. And someone like, Stephen Colbert comes to mind. He's genius. I love Stephen. He does so much. Well, hello, Tiger. Thank you for joining us. But when push comes to shove, for example, he had Marianne Williamson on, and was, it was a great interview, and one thing that showed was his surprise at how intelligent she is. But then shortly after this great interview, he then, uh, you know, cut her down pretty hardcore in ridiculing when she was trying to actively engage in higher consciousness practices with the general public. So when she starts doing what folks in the New Thought movement would call energy work and raising consciousness, and trying to tap into exactly what she's been talking about harnessing the energy of love for political purposes, they don't understand what that is. And so in regards to climate change and the serious issues that we're faced with today, so my question to Gaia was, how do we communicate with the conscious unconscious in a way to rouse them from their slumber? And this is actually the most difficult type of folks to reach, because they think they know. They're not stupid. They're highly intelligent. They're many of them very well educated, but they only grasp quantum reality at the most basic of intellectual levels, and don't really understand the real meaning and the power of it. So I just did a round robin of cards and oracles and divination tools, and I started with runes, and I got gift, Gabo. So this is an indication of a partnership, and so it talks about all partnerships, whether it's a love partnership, a business partnership, a friendship. Any relationship is a partnership of some kind, but also at another level, there is your partnership with your higher self. A union with your higher self and with the divine. And so the ultimate gift of this rune is the realization of the divine in all things. So I take that to be the first message, is that for us to remember that even though that we are judging them as the conscious unconscious, that is a judgment, and to remind ourselves that the divine lives in all. And then from the tree oracle, the OM, Elder. So this is the energies of Elder in the tree alphabet are very similar to the Temperance card in Tarot, where balance is a big issue. But in the tree oracle, Elder is also a powerful warning. The name in Gaelic means the red face of shame. In 3 of the 4 different versions of the OM, it's translated as a red-faced and shameful. The 4th one is arduous anger, humiliation. So we really want to be to recognize the divine in everyone, and to use temperance and balance our communications so that we don't want to shame anyone. We don't want to cause them to feel a sense of shame, because once they start realizing that the spell they've been under is part of the problem, we don't want them to make them feel responsible, and then we also don't want to we don't want it to be a frustrating experience for ourselves either. You know, we don't want to be the ones ending up with a red face of shame because we tried to reach someone and ended up either offending them or discrediting ourselves because we're not speaking the same language. Now, you're right in my space. You just love sitting right here where I'm trying to do my work. From the Druid Animal Oracle, we got the dog. And so these are animals that they selected specifically from the Druid tradition. So in ancient Druidry, the dog really represented guidance, protection, and loyalty. Dogs were used as not only guard dogs in the usual sense, but also as protectors of sacred knowledge. So, you know, dogs are tapped in, and we see this, you know, culturally, the relationship between humans and canines is deep and wide. You know, it's been projected in our media. In the original Terminator movie, you know, dogs were used to detect Terminators from a distance because they could tell that that was a machine and not, you know, a human being. So when we make these communications, we need to be, you know, in the space of guiding and protecting and being loyal. Remember, there's only one of us here. So when we're addressing folks that we would consider to be part of the conscious unconscious, and we want to guide them in a loyal, protective fashion. At the bottom of the deck on that drawing was the goose, and big protective family energy here. So we really want to heighten our sense that, you know, we are one. This is a new deck I got on crystals. I just wanted to add some crystal energy into my reading. And what came out was rhodochrosite, you know, heart chakra. So we really need to be coming also from the heart, right? Teaches the heart to assimilate painful feelings without shutting down, dissolving denial and identifying ongoing detrimental patterns. It offers compassionate love and forgiveness. You face the truth with loving awareness. So, you know, these are could potentially be some difficult conversations where, you know, when people are having the realization as they begin to grasp quantum reality. So rhodochrosite, if you don't have some rhodochrosite, is one of the more affordable pieces. It's considered a heart chakra stone because it is red and green. So this here shows a red slice with green in it. A lot of the rhodochrosite that I've seen has actually been more green with the red veins running through it. But if you have some ore, like I did, go get, you know, there's several different decks. This is one of the old standards. The crystal cards can do as much energy work as having the actual crystal. So, we got to be in our heart. This is another new oracle deck. This is the Amenti Oracle, which is a reference from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, ancient Egypt. And this oracle deck is the 42 ideals of Ma'at, who was the wife of Thoth. Living with a feather heart. And I'll show you a little more. This deck is just amazing. So what I got here is a number 23. I communicate with compassion. And this one I'm just going to read. Communication and compassion both share layers of meaning and manifestation. Each has the ability to affect through expression and iteration. Looking at their fusion, we may be reminded of the ancient Egyptian goddess Hathor, who was the personification of love, beauty, music, dance, maternal energies, and joy, and is further embodied as the goddess Aphrodite for the Greeks and Venus to the Romans. It was believed that Hathor's heart shone through life, death, transformation, and transfiguration. In waking life, she took on different attributes of netters as needed. Animals such as the cow or the cat and the cosmos, she was often depicted as the embodiment of the Milky Way. In the life of the underworld, she acted an usher through the afterlife, greeting the dead with refreshments and comfort. Every iteration of the Hathor life force found resonance with tenderness and a type of sympathetic communication that expressed the necessary magic of the moment, as she could feel, sense, think, and embody within a twinkling of time. Compassion as something to actively communicate is a fluid ideal that transforms with each expression and sentiment, depending upon what metaphorical cards are dealt in coping with the situation at hand. A reminder of the virtues of compassion finds resonance in the suits of the minor arcana of the tarot, energetic correspondences of the elements of Hathor's heart. Compassion, like the suit of cups, which may be filled and drank from, is a feeling of relationship to the matter at hand. Compassion can be in a thought, like the suit of swords, which communicates its power through action and discernment. Compassion, like the suit of pentacles, can be a sensation, in the way of a hug or an expression of affection where matter is met with mindfulness. Compassion, like the suit of wands, is something that can be intuited and expressed through the silent holding of space when it is needed. Body language and living language, rooted in kindness and a loving nature, are the embodiment of the humane, the life force of nature applied through empathetic elucidation, and a fluency of the great faculties of the senses as the vehicle to effect through affection. Affection being eternally effective in life, death, and all of the dimensions in between. And then, bottom of the deck here, I praise the goddess and the god. So, something that that reminded me of is in some of my recent readings, there's been some things mentioned about, you know, the balance of the masculine and feminine energies, and how, you know, a very powerful patriarch is often blamed for the situation that we're in now. And so we need to remember that, again, there's only one of us here. There's only one of us here. We are all both divine masculine and divine feminine. And we need to not, as the divine feminine kind of reemerges into a more powerful position in our lives, we need to not, not crucify the masculine, right? Praise the goddess and the god. And from the Moon Oracle, balance again. Are we sensing a theme here? Balance, balance, and balance. I seek and maintain a healthy balance in my life. Extremes of anything are rarely healthy or useful. There may be an overreaction that has caused the issue. Ground yourself and allow your strength to rise from there. Be aware of where the imbalances in your life are at. And then on the bottom of the moon deck, hunger, the wolf moon. I think everybody on the planet is hungry for balance. We're so overwhelmed and weary and tired of being out of balance. The Enchanted Blossoms had two messages for us that really are just maintaining the flow of this reading here. Confidence and courage. So confidence is knowing the truth of something beyond a shadow of a doubt. We know the truth of the quantum reality. We know that there is only one field of existence, the isness of life itself. This card is asking you to believe in yourself no matter what you are currently trying to achieve. Have faith in who you are and what you're trying to do. So I think we need to stand in our credibility when we're having conversations, trying to bring someone from the conscious unconscious into the conscious conscious. Lean on the science, especially, people who have degrees, college backgrounds. If you lean into the science and present it, start off by showing them Bruce Lipton's Biology of Belief lecture. It's a 2.5-hour YouTube video on it. Joe Dispenza, the hardcore number crunching, empirical data collecting, New Thought gurus who are not just giving the the woo-woo explanation, for lack of a better term, but are giving the hard scientific explanation. And that is our greatest bridge with the conscious unconscious. This is going to cause in them, a Copernican revolution in their thought. That's how powerful, you remember. Okay, so courage. And we need to be courageous in our confidence. It's time to strengthen your heart, mind, and your resolve to continue in the face of pain, grief, or anything else you might be facing. When you find the nerve to face a challenge, you will become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Every step you take into the unknown is a courageous one. but some will require more gumption than others. Courage is the seed of progress, so muster that daring to move forward in your life by stepping boldly towards your dreams and desires. Bottom of the deck, wisdom. From the goddess oracle, Epona. Epona from Celtic Gaul was especially worshipped as a protectress of horses, a bringer of fecundity to mares, and a giver of well-being to foals. She was the only Celtic goddess to be adopted by the Romans. A lunar goddess, Epona is often depicted with a cornucopia, a symbol of abundance and plenty. Like the symbol of the horse, she is a bringer of fertility, a source of inspiration, and a figure of death. A psychopomp on the soul's final journey. As late as the 12th century, Irish kings underwent a ceremony of symbolic birth from Epona in her form of a white mare, as part of claiming their kingship. In ancient days, a king was ritually wedded to the goddess as part of becoming king. Comfortable in both the realm of life and that of death, Epona is a strong symbol of independence, nurturing intuitive understanding, instinct, and vitality. So again, that same energy like with Hathor. A goddess of life and death. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes. At the bottom of the deck we had Minerva, and I'm going to go ahead and read her too because it's a great compliment. So although Minerva, the Roman goddess of war and wisdom, is usually portrayed as equivalent to the Greek goddess Athena, she was originally an Etruscan goddess of dawn. She is revered as a goddess of wisdom, for the light of dawn typifies knowledge. She guides heroes in wars and is patroness of all arts, crafts, guilds, and medicine. Called by Ovid the goddess of 1,000 works, she was the inventor of musical instruments, numbers, and many crafts, including weaving. Excuse me. The serpent and the owl were sacred to her. The serpent is an emblem of life energy and the creative impulse. The owl is a symbol of death and wisdom, and thus Minerva, a goddess of the dawn and of wisdom, is also a goddess of death and transformation. Minerva is an incarnation of wisdom in human form, an affirmation that we can use our knowledge and wisdom in pursuit of any goal we choose. So, choosing. We need to very consciously choose, and with temperance and balance and faith and loyalty, guidance, and parental levels of love, heart opening. We can have these conversations and have them be productive and effective. To be, as Abraham Hicks says, uplifters to the very core of our being. And when we're out in what I like to call the default reality out there, outside of my little bubble of nirvana that I have here, we can consciously do our work, maintain our high vibrations, raise our vibration even higher, and lift up others around us. So thank you, Gaia, for this beautiful message. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share, subscribe. Any interest in personal readings, my email is in the description box. And anyway, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in my next video.